They come across a mountaintop Pokémon Center, and Officer Jenny joins them after ignoring a distress call from the Overlook Hotel. A stranded Team Rocket get rescued by Articuno and are brought to the Pokémon Center. After recovering, these pitiful perps who've never managed to steal one extra strong Pikachu think they have what it takes to capture a legendary Pokémon. And yet I still give them more credit at this moment than Officer Jenny, who, despite being a seasoned policewoman, not only let 3 crooks with a criminal history as long as a motorway stick around unsupervised, but also left her snowmobile unattended. You can imagine how well this goes. Todd gets a shot at Articuno and decides that's when to part ways with Ash and the gang. Pokemon Snap couldn't have been on the shelves for much longer by the time this episode aired, so Todd could be dispensed with. They promoted that game enough. They befriend some Arcanine trainers who are delivering Firestones to a fire Pokemon tournament, and it hurts just thinking about the different kinds of injuries Ash would have gotten from this fall. Team Rocket arrived to steal the show and the Firestones in an actual rocket for once. Since this is the early 2000s, I'm surprised this didn't get classified as a weapon of mass destruction and Jessie, James and Meowth didn't end up in Guantanamo Bay. You just know Lieutenant Surge would have tortured prisoners there with his electric Pokemon. Team Rocket evades them by digging holes for them to fall in, not once, not twice, but thrice. At this point it's become Pokemon Vietnam Edition. But instead of ending up playing Russian roulette with Christopher Walken, Ash manages to diddy-mow his way through the woods to get to Team Rocket by acting as if he's one with the Arcanine. This looks so cool, it makes you want to ride a gigantic dog. Get those thoughts out of your mind. I'm a white guy, not a white girl.
What do you think the best way to sell those Firestones is, Jessie? One by one, as a whole set? Or maybe we can post them on the internet?
Now I'm thinking what the dark web would look like in the world of Pokemon. Stolen card keys, berry juice spiked with Class A drugs, poached dragon fangs, Pokemon crush porn. I bet that's what Butch and Cassidy are doing right now. But you know how it ends. What I liked about this episode is how Jessie hums along with the chase music for a couple of seconds. They roll up to a town where the kids are obsessed with Dunsparces.
Mine's definitely bigger.
Mine's bigger.
No, mine is.
Here, I can measure them for you. Who wins?
Which one's the biggest?
Mine is, by 5 millimeters.
In a ploy to steal everyone's Dunsparces, Team Rocket puts on a stage play. I wonder if this is how Pokemon Live was marketed.
This stinks! I thought it was gonna be robots, not actors dressed up in Pokemon costumes.
You just wait until they get to Brock's musical number. At first the audience seem like smart kids, but they get conned into thinking they're trading in their Dunsparces for Moltres. That's not the worst thing that's happened to kids who have been given Pokeballs.
Burger King and the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission want you to know about the voluntary recall of this Pokemon Pokeball. The ball may pose a suffocation hazard to children under 3. Throw the ball away or return it to Burger King.
After they get the Dunsparces back, the kid they saw at the beginning catches one, meaning this forgettable one-episode character has now caught more Pokemon this season than Misty, Brock and Ash combined. Jessie and James disguise themselves as scientists you'd see in a 90s commercial. They trap Pikachu in a device, but nobody can get Pikachu out because the only one with a key is Wobbuffet, who's been whisked away down a river. Everyone's hunt for Wobbuffet gets interrupted by a police chase for a museum thief. Oh, French authorities, have you checked if this was the man who stole from the Louvre? In grief, Jessie starts to imitate the mannerisms of Wobbuffet. To the untrained eye, this is just a visual gag, but from a psychoanalytic perspective, this is a symptom of severe identification loss, where the subject adopts the identity of the one being grieved over. If they didn't find Wobbuffet later, there's a good chance Jessie would have started going everywhere wearing nothing but blue body paint and reducing her vocabulary just to the word Wobbuffet, leaving James and Meowth as her permanent carers. The police track the master thief down to what looks like a crack den where he holds Wobbuffet hostage. This looks like it could set the scene for a climactic shootout, but the writers had to be boring and just have Ash get the drop on him with the Pokemon battle. They get the key back to release Pikachu, but wait, what did Jessie say earlier this day?
Pikachu can't get out and no food, air, or water can get in.
Brockadoodle collapses from exhaustion after being Ash and Misty's dog's body for so long. While Brock is resting, Ash and Misty try to polish his Pokemon for him and get twatted across the field by Onyx. How do you survive that? Is Onyx just made out of those styrofoam bowlers used on the set of the original Star Trek? Brock has a dream where his attempted foursome is ended by a meteor. This is a fascinating view into Brock's psychology. We can now see that the dreams he has are a hybrid of the Mikado and Armageddon, but this dream his eyes are always closed, he's already fallen asleep, and he's missed everything. Team Rocket are vacuuming up all the apples in the woods with plans to sell them and hopefully retire from the profits. The greedy bastards vacuum up Pikachu as well. If they really could have made enough money to retire from selling apples, why would they need Ash's Pikachu? This lack of foresight is a signifier for Team Rocket's lack of business sense. Really, they'd be doomed to fail either way, it's like a Greek tragedy. Like half of Hollywood, Brock now fantasizes about being on a secluded island with multiple girls he can do whatever he wants with. It's all in his mind though, so as long as he doesn't tell an interviewer years later that he picked up a rare condition in the Pewter City gym that makes him unable to sweat, he'll be fine. They wander into a town where Pokémon are trained to sumo wrestle each other, and there's a Pokémon sumo wrestling tournament just around the corner. Being from Britain, this is an exotic concept to me, because the only sumo wrestling I've seen is when two fat girls sumo wrestled each other over the last Snickers bar in a vending machine. Ash wants to enter, but because there's a weight class requirement, Ash gets Professor Oak to transfer over his Snorlax. Our boy has evidently played the Pokémon Stadium games. Team Rocket enter their Wobbuffet because they've also played Pokémon Stadium 2. Wobbuffet uses counter and gets disqualified after the first battle. Damn, they really thought an entire crowd wouldn't notice them cheating in plain sight. Poliwrath gets knocked flying by Snorlax's stomach. It's like watching a 5'6" guy who does taekwondo pick a fight in the pub with Big Baz. A Blastoise and a Feraligatr face off, and until corporate homogeny in the entertainment industry gets even more consolidated than it already is, this will be the closest we get to seeing Godzilla vs. Gamera. Team Rocket plan on selling counterfeit merchandise, but by the time they get back the tournament is over, so there's no one to fleece. This must be how HMV felt with all their Lost Profits merchandise in 2013.